Hello and welcome to my channel. This is Ramakant Mahananda, teacher English from Kendriya Vidyalaya Badkuhi. Dear students, I welcome you to today's class. Today I'm here to discuss with you a new chapter from the class 10th NCERT textbook. It is The Diary of a Young Girl, Anne Frank. You must have gone through this particular chapter. This is really a highly inspiring and motivating piece of writing. And as far as the style and form is concerned, till now you all had been introduced to the fictions, but this is a completely different piece of writing. Here you are being introduced to the non-fictional prose. What do you understand by non-fictional prose, my students? Non-fictional prose refers to the real life stories or the stories which are being influenced or which have been inspired by some real life incidents. Such stories in literatures are called non-fictional writings, and this is one such piece of writing. Here we can find the mentionings about the real life incidents of a young girl and her family, and the contemporary situations, the political, social, and the other factors that were working in their life. So without any delay, let's move into the video. But before that, I would like to request you all to kindly like, share, and subscribe to my channel. Now, let us first try to find out who Anne Frank was. As far as Anne Frank's biography is concerned, here I have tried to give you a very short sketch of her life. If you go through it and listen to my video lecture, I'm 100% confident that you would not have to go through any other book or any other reference, okay, to understand the concept of this particular chapter. So here we go. Anne Frank was a Jewish girl born to Mr. Otto Frank and Edith Hollander Frank in Germany on 12th of June 1929. So here her parents' name are mentioned. Her father was Mr. Otto Frank and her mother was Edith Hollander Frank, and by birth they were Germans. She was born in Germany, okay, and they were the permanent residents of that particular country. But by faith, when it comes to their religion, when it comes to their faith, they were the followers of Jewish faith. So they were Jews by faith. She had an elder sister named Margaret Frank also. Her diary is famously known as the Diary of a Young Girl. Here I would like to mention one thing is that why her diary is being called the Diary of a Young Girl, because this diary was written by Anne Frank when she was only 13 years of age. She was a teenager the time she started or she began to write it. So that's why it is being said that it's the diary of a young girl, right? Although she was too young but could produce a good piece of writing during her short span of life. When it comes to her lifespan, she lived only up to 22 or 23 years of life. Okay, she had a very short span of life, but she made it meaningful with the production, with the writing of such a wonderful piece of writing. Okay, she died young in the year 1945 while staying in the concentration camp. Okay, so before we move to the next part to understand, I would like to tell you what a concentration camp is. Actually, in those days when Anne Frank was born in Germany, that was the time when Germany was ruled by the Nazi rulers. You must have heard about Adolf Hitler. Okay, Adolf Hitler was a kind of dictator who started a fight or a war against the people who did not follow his ideals. Okay, his ideology was completely different, and he started brutally killing the Jews people in Germany and in Holland. Okay, so the condition of Germany was really very bad, and the Jewish people, they had to flee to different countries of the Europe. And especially here also we can find it that when the Jews were being tortured, Jews were being brutally killed. Okay, at that particular moment, Mr. Frank, Otto Frank, thought of flying to, or thought of going to, or escaping to Holland, which was a safer place for them. And that was the place where Mr. Otto Frank had his employment also. He was working there as an employee. So when they went there, they stayed there for almost 2 years. They hid there. They took shelter there in a house, in an office for almost 2 years before they were being exposed by some people, by some betrayer. Someone betrayed and exposed to the Nazis, and finally they were all taken to the concentration camp. And that concentration camp time was really very crucial for them, because in that concentration camp, Anne Frank and her elder sister Margaret Frank, both of them died young. In the book it is not mentioned what were the reasons of their death, but we can certainly understand that in the concentration camp, the people who were kept there were very much tortured. They were not properly fed, they were not taken care as far as the health is concerned. They were kept like animals. Even the animals can have a better place to live in, but the human beings, or the Jews who were taken to the concentration camps, they had a very bad time over there. Okay, so here some important family, some important events of our life have been mentioned. I told you that one. Okay, the first 2 points have been discussed with me, discussed with you. Now the third point is that she had been presented with a diary by her father on her 13th birthday. This is a wonderful moment in her life. Means when she was turning 13, was celebrating her 13th birthday, that was the time when her father gifted his daughter a beautiful gift, that was a diary. Okay, she was not much interested in the diary, as she thought no one would ever take interest to read the musings of a teenager. She was too young at that time, and a 13-year-old child is not supposed to make comment or speak about the contemporary society, or she won't be able to understand the society's structure and the society's problem, and she won't be able to reflect upon that. But this young Azer, this teenager, was someone who was completely different from the other children of her age group. Okay, she was a talkative girl. When it comes to the nature, she was a very talkative girl, a wonderful essay writer. She used to compose beautiful essays also. There, when we go through the book, when we go through the text, when we go through the entries of the the various entries she has made in her diary, there you will find that each and every entry would introduce you to a new world, and thus you will be able to understand that how good she was at writing. Right, she was a born writer and a good student of her school. Okay, and in the book also, when you go through the NCERT textbook, it is mentioned over there that she has said that we will make it. Once there is a phrase, there is a sentence, very short sentence is written over there just before the declaration of the result, when the entire class was trying to predict who would be getting promoted to the next class, who would be getting repeated, who will be repeating the class. Okay, so all these discussions were going on in that particular time. At that moment, Anne Frank was very much confident about her result. Okay, although she was bit confused about the performance in her mathematics, but she was confident that she would make it to the next form. In actually European countries, they call it form, they don't call it class, or they don't call it grade. In our country, we have the conceptions of calling it class, means class 6, class 7, class 8, class 9, we call it so. But in European countries, they call it form, next form, previous form, class form 6, form 7. In this way they do continue it. So now let us move to the next and try to understand what more is there. Some important phrases from the text. Now only I mentioned one beautiful phrase, that we will make it. What does that mean? It means that we would definitely pass the examination, we would be able to get promoted to the next higher class. That was means in that particular phrase we can sense the confidence of the young girl Anne Frank as a student, right? It means that she was very good at academics. She was not just good at writings, she was very good at academics. She was a wonderful student also. One more thing also, I do recall that in the book that is mentioned, she says that she had quite very good rapport with all the teachers except one teacher, that was Mr. Kissing. Okay, and means to be very frank, I have included this particular Mr. Kissing's piece of story also. Okay, to which Anne Frank also has dedicated single day writing also. Okay, she has also dedicated Mr. Kissing's entries has also been made in Anne Frank's diary, so we will find it very interesting also. Here two more important phrases can be seen, that is first one is that teachers are the most unpredictable creatures on the earth. What does that mean? Actually it means that, here I have also written the meaning of that, you can read it and understand it also in very simple English. It is written, means you never know what your teacher is going to do the next. Okay, right? If your teacher suppose you are predicting something and your teacher may come out with something else. Okay, why she said like this, why Anne Frank had to use this particular phrase? Actually this when comes to the context, one thing I do remember, that when the entire class was predicting that there were some boys, there were some dummies. Okay, she says dummies. Actually in the words of Anne Frank we can call them dummies. Dummies means useless people, useless things are called dummies. Okay, so there were some dummies in the class, means who didn't take interest in study or who were not doing well in studies, right? So for them Anne Frank says that these dummies should repeat the class. But again she says the contradictions. Okay, on the contrary, she also says that but teachers are the most unpredictable creatures on the earth. That means that they suppose that they should repeat, but what the teachers are thinking, they can't know about it, or they can't imagine about it. Means the teachers might promote them. Teachers are they sometimes they give them very generously, and they give over marks to the children who perform very poorly in the class also, and they get them promoted to the next class. So that's why she says that teachers are the most unpredictable cases on the earth. One more beautiful thing she writes in the book is that, paper has more patience than people. This one touches me the most. Why she says like that? Once you understand this one, the deeper meaning can be well realized. Okay, as far as the meaning of this one is concerned, my dear children, in this today's world, this is a world of consumerism. This is a world of the technology. In this particular world, people hardly care about your emotions and feelings, right? It is very difficult for someone to find a honest and a trustworthy friend around you. So in such a context, she says that it is better to rely on the paper, because paper would never betray you. Whatever the things, whatever the sorrows, whatever the feelings that you have, you can simply jot down it on the paper, and the paper would never mock you. Paper is never going to make fun of you, or it is never going to reveal it before the class. It's the safest place where you can outburst, where you can place all your feelings over there. Okay, that's why she says that paper has more patience than the people. So it's two beautiful phrases that I considered them to be worth mentioning here. Now let us see why she did not want to write the diary. When she was gifted a diary, when you go through the book, there you find that initially she hesitated. What does that mean? Means she didn't want to write the diary. There were some reasons because of which she was not interested to write diary or initiate the writing of diary. So what were those reasons which were pulling her back? So the reasons may be, the first one that I suppose is she considered herself too young to speak or comment about the contemporary society. The time when she was born in Germany, that was a very crucial time. That was the time of Renaissance. many changes were going on. The Nazi rulers had made the life very difficult for the people, and people had lost their liberty, had lost their freedom, and you were not supposed to speak or comment against the Nazi rulers. So it was really very difficult. So I think because of that, and moreover, she was a girl. The time when she was born in Europe, that was not the time when the women were empowered. Only few women who belonged to the aristocratic family or who belonged to the royal family, they had the advantage, or they had the scope to go for the school, and the others, means who came from the middle class family or the lower class family, they didn't have access to the education. And because of that, means she belongs to a very lower class family, lower middle class family. So that's why her mindset is also of that particular kind. So that's why she considered herself to be incompetent to comment or say something about the present scenario of her country. So she thought that it would be useless to make or to write something. Second thing is that she thought she is not a popular face whom the people would like to read. This is another reason why she didn't want to write actually. First reason I have already mentioned, that she considered herself too young. She considered herself to be incompetent to go for writing a diary. Okay, and the second reason why she didn't write the diary was that is the reason that she thought that she was a very very unfamiliar face in Germany. Nobody knew her except 30 or 40 friends that she had in the class. And if it is published, suppose fortunately or unfortunately, if the same would be published later on, then who would take interest to read it? That was the main concern why she didn't want to initiate the writing of diary. And moreover, one more strange feeling she had. Okay, one more strange experience she had. The strange experience she had was what she had never tried it before. That was the first time ever she found a diary. And I think in family, maybe it is not mentioned whether Otto Frank used to maintain a diary or not, or whether they had the tradition of writing a diary or not. But as far as the history of the European society is concerned, as much as I know, the European children and the European parents usually do maintain a diary. Okay, they do maintain a diary, and they do share their secrets over there. Okay, now let us see why she decided to write the diary. Initially she hesitated, but later on she decided that no, I would go for writing the diary. I must write the diary. She finally decided to do that. So why she decided? First thing was that she was a teenager. She required a close companion to share her feelings and thoughts. The first thing, very very important thing that she needed in her life was a good companion. Companion refers to a good friend, a trustworthy friend, an honest friend with whom she can share all her feelings and emotions as and when she required. That is what the most important thing she wanted, right? She wanted a good friend. She was in need of a good companion. Because of that, she thought this paper, the dumb paper, would be the best companion who would never complain about me. Second point, although she had many friends, but she considered none to be trustworthy. She had many friends. In the book also it is written that in her families there were almost 30 members, okay, including her grandparents and the aunts and uncles and the cousins. But none of them were considered trustworthy by Anne Frank. She was a growing child. She was a teenager. She had some things that she could not share with the family members. It happens. Okay, the teenagers can't share everything with their parents. They can't share everything with the schoolmates. That's why she was looking for a trustworthy friend, and she found the paper, she found the diary to be a trustworthy one. Third one, she thought diary could be her best companion as it would never complain or make fun of her. Okay, this is another important reason, crucial reason why I think she had chosen, or she finally decided to go for writing the diary. Means she knew that even if her experiences or the emotions are tasteless, or even if it is uninteresting, then also the paper is not going to make complaint, or it's not going to make fun of her. That is why, means her feelings, her sharings, her everything would remain a secret forever, and that is what she always intended to do. She wanted to keep the diary as a secret. She wanted all her entries to be a secret one for her. That's why, she finally decided to go for writing a diary. Now, Mr. Kissing and extra work. This is the very important part that you find in one of the entries in the diary. This is very, very important one, and this fascinates me a lot. Okay, actually, who was Mr. Kissing? Mr. Kissing was her math teacher, the math instructor in her school where she studied. And Mr. Kissing has been written as an old-fashioned math teacher, a very strict Methodian, a very strict disciplinarian, means who followed the discipline seriously and wanted all his learners to attend the classes attentively. But unfortunately, Anne Frank was a completely different type of girl who loved to talk, who loved to gossip, and who loved to narrate stories to her friends. Okay, and because of this talkative nature, many times Mr. Kissing punished Anne Frank. First time when Mr. Kissing got furious about this talkative nature, he assigned an extra work for Anne Frank. And what was that extra work? That was quite challenging and hilarious also. That the topic of the essay that was assigned to Anne Frank was a chatterbox, and she herself was the chatterbox. Okay, so to ridicule, to make fun of her, or to ridicule her, okay, or to suppress her attitude, or to suppress the trait of talkativeness, Mr. Kissing had intentionally given this topic so that at least Anne Frank would change her attitude, and she would change her behavior, or she would stop talking in the class. But unfortunately, the opposite happened. Anne Frank was quite smart. She was a wonderful and a gifted child. She had a very good sense of writing. Okay, and she was a born writer. She thought and thought and thought, and finally came out with some good convincing arguments. Convincing arguments refer to some beautiful points which could convince the teacher that why it is important to talk in the class, or why is it important to talk as a child. Okay, and finally, when the assignment was submitted to the teacher for correction, the teacher found it very, very hilarious, and he thought that this child is not going to change, and he again assigned the child after few days. He again found Anne Frank talking in the class and asked her to write another essay, an incorrigible chatterbox. Incorrigible refers to something that cannot be corrected, someone who cannot be corrected. Okay, someone who cannot be changed means an incorrigible chatterbox. That one also knowingly, intentionally, consciously he had given, okay, so that Anne Frank should change her behavior. And this time also Anne Frank came out with some beautiful points, and he somehow managed to get rid of that. But finally, the final one was more hilarious. The final assignment which was given to Anne Frank by her math teacher, that is worth noting over here. Okay, actually Mr. Kissing was getting gradually he was getting embarrassed with the beautiful points or the arguments placed by Miss or this little girl Anne Frank as a child, who always defended her nature, who always defended means why it's important for her to talk, why it is important for her to carry on that talkative nature, as she also says that that was the inherited trait and it's very difficult for her to change it. Something inherited means something that we have got from our parents, something, the trait, the characteristic that our parents have passed on to us cannot be changed, that genes cannot be changed. That is how she tried to convince the teacher. But unfortunately, the last time the teacher got extremely furious, and he wanted to ridicule her, and he wanted to embarrass her in front of the entire class, and finally he asked her to write an essay on a very, very hilarious topic, that was quack quack quack, said the mistress, said the mistress Chatterbox. That was the final assignment that was given to her. Okay, so it is really very interesting one. But this time, okay, this was really very surprising for Anne Frank, because she had never thought that this Mr. Kissing would punish her to such an extent. Okay, and gradually, repeatedly, day after days, week after weeks, he was giving the same topic. And that's why Anne Frank was really in a trouble, because all the stops, all the points that she had already defended cannot be repeated again. She wanted to come out with something new, and this time, with the help of one of her friends in the class, she could compose a beautiful poem. Okay, there she mentioned that there lived a swan, and the swan had two or three ducks, and the swan did not want their ducks to quack quack quack, and whenever the little swans quacked, the swan would come and kill them. The swan would come and hit them. So in this way, he compared Mr. Kissing with the swan, and he compared the school children and herself as a little ducklings of the swan. In this way, that was a beautiful poem that she composed, and a befitting reply she had given to her teacher. And luckily, fortunately, coincidentally, that you may call it a coincidence, actually, that was written in such a way that means that was supposed to make the teacher angry. She thought that this time my teacher is going to lose his temper, but luckily, fortunately, that didn't happen. Mr. Kissing, he appreciated the beauty of the poem, he appreciated the creativeness of the child, and he also recited it among the students, and also he took and recited the poem in various other classes. In this way, somehow the fight between Mr. Kissing and Anne Frank came to an end, and is being remembered by Anne Frank as a very unforgettable moment of her life. So with this, we have come to the end of today's video. Thank you for watching it. I again request you to kindly like, share and subscribe it.